president wa Botswana afuna akhale ngati Ibrahim Traore. Yo, welcome back to the Egyptian Malawi and Kenyans. Akulu, Duma Gideon Boko, president wa dziko la Botswana. Ntaina yake pano tunapanga post video imene iyeyo ama muchemelera president wa dziko la Burkina Faso Ibrahim Traore, ndipo ama mutchula kuti my good friend. Some of you are comparing me with my good friend Ibrahim Traore, kuti ifeyo iye akuyendetsa bwino yancha dziko lake. Ndamanena kuona kuti kodi tu ifeyo we are in different fields, tili mafield osiyana chifukwa tili mafield osiyana chifukwa ine yanga ndi democracy, iye uja amati akangodzuka chimene akufuna kunenacho chimatheka. Komanso ine ndikakhala kuti chinthu cho anthu sinasangalase chimene chiduse mu the whole process, akakhala kuti anthu aja sagwizana ndiweyo, anazakamba kuti they remove you, alama kuchosa pa mpando pacho chifukwa kuti sagwizana ndi zimene iweyo ukunenazo. It's like a democracy imakhala ngati kutsekereza zinthu. Nde mkulu ameneyo ndisanapite kwa mkulu ameneyo ndikupatsanso an example ina yake imene ikhoza kukhala yabwino. Pakadali pano ku Malawi sugar akuvuta, sugar kutani akuvuta, like sinkhani yobisa wina nesa akuti sugar akuvuta, ndipo demand yake ili high. Pachati ndi demand and supply, right? Nde demand ili high, mtengo wa sugar also wakwera kwambiri chifukwa kuti akusowa. Therefore timafuna tinene pano kuti nthawi ina yake kalelo nthawi ya Joyce Banda, uyu munthu olemera kwambiri uyu Napoleon Zombe adapitako ndithu ku India, kumene kujako ndithu kapanga mamishoni kuti apange ku Malawi kuno abweretse kampani yayikulu yokhoza sugar. Koma muone mmene zidayendera, sindikuwuzana akuwuzani yekha. Ndiye mukaona choncho mpamene mungazindikire zoti process yonseyi munthu afuna kuthandizeni. The same thing zinachitika na madingo zija, afuna kuthandizeni kupanga fix ma ambulance anu, kwa mukumpasa process, mukumpasa ABC panga komanso sitiri kupasa guaranteed zimenezo. Ndiye muoneleka imeneyo kana kuti pitilize nkhani yathu.
Panali nthawi ina ndamva kuti mwakakumana ndi mtsogoleri wakale wa dziko lino Dr. Joyce Banda.
Nthawi ina idalipo imene timaona kuti ndapita ku India. Ndiye ndapita ku India, ndiye nafotokozera kuti timafuna kuti tipange fakitale yaikulu kwambiri m'Malawi yothandizira sugar. Ndiye pachifukwa cha chimenecho ndoti kuja dafuna kalata ya umboni yoja ku dziko la Malawi kuti kujawo one ngati kuti chito inache kuno ku Malawi. Ndiye zitapita ku nduna wa zamali urgent finance kuja dana kurai boma siwichita guarantee munthu. Ndiye pachifukwa chimenecho sirikuthandiza. Ndiye sanopene ndata kumapene panekaona ni head of the state nikalongosole
mutakumana nawo
apita nikuwachita brief zonse. Ndiye langu tazi zimene zinamvera kuti dikirani. Ndiye nikadadikira mpana lero.
Tsonka kale. Pano sadachoka poso pa mpando.
Hayi basi kuti
ndiye atsopano wamusimudakaisere kuti watulukawa
sano ma documents yose amene ndali nawo ntende ndakasiya kumeneko. Ndiye ndakasiya kumeneko ndoti sindaite bwino ifa sindaite photocopy.
Koma ngasimasiya kwa munthu wamkulu ndiye sungama ganiso za photocopy.
Hayi basi ndaganiza kuti apapo
ndiye samaonera kuti umu ndimene zinakhalira democracy imoneka choncho. Sinzo kuti Joyce Banda nakanika nthukungwa na straight zikungweka zinthu ma straight nakanika kupita kwa Minister of Finance kukanika ndithu panopanda kuti kampani yobwe zili kuti ili ku Malawi, shuga yo ngambwe. You understand? Anthu alipo ofuna olifunira dziko zabwino ori atha upanga zinthu pa ground, koma chimene chomwe chochita democracy chimene chikusokoneza. Nde Duma Gideon Boko president wa Botswana ngoti guys zachibwanayi tikuchedwa ine ndikuyambiratu pano pano ndikuyambiratu ndiye waziyambatu msilikali maona koma zimene yankhula mazimva taona zimene yankhula.
And I have said I want to change this country spectacularly in 3 years. So I don't have 10 years. I don't have 5 years. I don't have 6 months to decide whether or not and go to court. No, I don't have that time. People, yourselves, need accommodation. And if I'm going to submit myself to a process that will take me 10 years to deliver accommodation to you, then I would have failed you and failed you spectacularly. So what do? We need to ensure that there's transparency, there's openness, there's accountability in each and every process that we undertake. No doubt, that is not negotiable, and that there is no corruption. And so people say, when you acknowledge a failed system and you say, whatever we do, we must not do this one. He say he's trying to give tenders to his relatives. I want you to know my relatives. Just check, you'll know them. You need to know them so that you can track whether any one of my relatives has any tender. You need to ascertain, you need to be sure about these things. So that when these allegations are flung about, because one is seeking to move from an entrenched system of corruption to something that offers us some redemption, yet you are able to interrogate the allegations. And we must interrogate the allegations together. And so it's going to be very critical for us to find ways of moving away from this corrupt system and engaging in a different one that we can monitor and track, one that delivers results timeously, within budget, no corruption. And so we need to look for the best practices. And that we will do. If there's anything that I'm not afraid to do, it is to take decisive measures, even in the face of opposition and hostility. If it has to be done, it is good for the country, it is good for the people, I will do it. Make no mistake about it. I declare this and I declare it publicly so that it is known, so that when you gauge and you assess, you understand how I approach these matters. And with me, I'm always open to engagement. You disagree with me? Let's talk. You tell me, I think you're getting it wrong here. And I'll listen to you. And if I realize you are correct, I will say it to you, but not just to you, I'll also say it publicly. I've been advised by my friend or my colleague that this approach is wrong. I have reassessed. I have come to the conclusion that it is actually wrong, and we self-correct. That's how you operate. Because we're all frail and fallible. This is the concept of bofokoti. This is what it means. When you say that, it means you appreciate your own frailties, your own brokenness. You're broken and fissured yourself. And so when others come and they approach you with a different perspective, you pay attention. And when you realize they are correct, you heed what they say. This is how you operate in a sane and sober environment. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what position you occupy. It's called humility. Just the ability to acknowledge that I may be wrong. Even when you think you've got it right 100%, you may actually be 100% wrong. And when somebody challenges you, if you think you are right and you believe in the correctness of your proposition, then it becomes an opportunity for you to persuade them, to win them over, or be won over to their side. And so I don't understand why sometimes there's conflict. When we engage on any issue, and you know, you assess. That's why you do recon. You collect data. You assess it critically. You examine it from different perspectives. And then you take a decision. But if you go out there, rumor and gossip gets people so excited. Even some who call themselves analysts, you look at what they're trying to say, there's no analysis. But you, by virtue of your profession, your training, are analysts, because you deal only in facts. And you take decisions based on accurate information, not speculation, not rumor, not gossip, not pettiness, not frivolity, not absurdity. That's your job. And you need to demonstrate these capabilities because you have them. And so it's important for us to understand these issues. And I commit here and now and going forward to working with you to build the Botswana Defense Force so that it truly provides for security, accountability, and meritocracy. That your actions on and off duty reflect our respect for human rights and the rule of law. Let us build a force, a defense force, that is not only formidable in capability, but one that is also exemplary in character. And if we do this, we will ensure that the Botswana Defense Force remains a pillar of peace, security, and progress for generations to come. I also would like to urge, there are many programs that we are trying to develop on the trot. One of them is a housing program called Bonno Housing Scheme. The bold ambition of this program is to ensure home ownership. That no person in this country be without a decent house. And I've seen how many of our people retire into penury, into poverty. And there's a structural explanation for this. And I've said before, we have operated a low-wage economy across for a very long time, such that a person who earns 20,000 belongs in the top 1% of high-income earners in this country. 20,000. And so you can imagine, if you slide all the way down, what it means for the everyday experience of our people. This should be a source of grave concern for all of us, especially for government. We need to be very concerned about this. And so when we complain, with good reason, we need to understand that we are dealing with a structural problem. And so we must face up to it and address it structurally. So this housing scheme is an attempt to place immovable property in the hands of citizens, as many of them as we possibly can. And the ambition is to build 100,000 of these houses in the next 3 years. I've said 3. The minister says he wants to do it in 2 years. And so this program is being rolled out in every constituency. The minimum is 1,000 houses. And so wherever you come from, you are entitled, if you have a piece of land that you've not been able to develop because of the challenges that we all face, you now can, for a very reasonable amount per month, at least put up some decent shelter. The idea is to ensure our citizens have decent accommodation. But we'll also engage in other programs that seek to deliberately transfer wealth, claw it back from where it is, and place it in the hands of the most ordinary of our citizens. It is an obligation. Government has to do this if it is a government of the people, for them and by them. We are also in the process of finalizing the development of a comprehensive national security strategy for this country in order to enhance our security ecosystem. This strategy will provide us with a framework to respond to both external and internal threats, to fashion effective and sagacious, far-sighted security policies, and allocate resources in a manner that strengthens our national resilience. And it will also lead to role clarity in our security environment. And so I call upon all of you, as the custodians of our peace and stability, to provide your insights, your experience, and your wisdom in order to shape this strategy and ensure that it reflects our national values, responds to emerging security challenges, and that it upholds our sovereignty and our territorial integrity in this ever-changing security environment. I am aware that one of the most significant obstacles to developing an effective national security strategy is a lack of consensus, common ground and vision on our national security priorities. This has led to a national security strategy being reactive as opposed to being proactive. In some countries, and indeed maybe in ours as well, defense budgets have been drastically reduced to address other competing priorities and national requirements. But we must appreciate that if we go too far down that road, we stand to suffer immensely in times of need. And so we must position ourselves to be ever ready, properly resourced, having honed and refined our strategic capabilities. And so we must take our cue from what is happening in the region and understand that we must prepare ourselves well in advance, in anticipation, so that we do not wait for tragedy to befall us and then begin to prepare under pressure of calamity. Esteemed senior officers, Botswana's participation in peacekeeping missions stands as an abiding testament to our unwavering commitment to regional stability, unity, and shared progress. Through these missions, we did not only help restore peace in conflict-affected areas, but we also strengthened bonds of friendship with our neighbors. We fostered mutual trust and regional interdependence. Our involvement promotes collective security, it enhances our diplomatic influence, and it reinforces Botswana's role as a responsible and proactive member of the international community. Our active participation in the SADC mission in Mozambique, SAMIM, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, SAMI DRC, evidences this. And we must applaud you and applaud through you ourselves as a country. Turning now to people issues, the BDF has made significant strides in gender integration aimed at addressing issues of equality, equity, and inclusivity. This is demonstrated by the active participation of women in peace and security initiatives on a global stage, and further by the command decision to establish the Gender Integration Office in the BDF. Gender mainstreaming is a critical component of the military for operational efficiency and effectiveness. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another plague that afflicts us is domestic violence, gender-based violence, murder, suicides, and such like. These pose a serious threat to our national security. These crimes undermine our development agenda, erode social cohesion, and trample upon human rights. These need urgent and coordinated attention across all sections of our population. And you took an oath to defend, to protect. And this oath precludes, it prohibits you from becoming perpetrators of gender-based violence. You must display at all times the discipline, a kind of discipline that moderates your reaction to crisis and challenge, a kind of discipline that enables you to be an exemplar in society. Of course, you are human beings as well. Some of these challenges tax you emotionally and physically. But you are a different breed. You are a trained species of human being, steeped in certain values and a certain order of discipline that must enable you to step back, to reflect soberly and sensibly about some of these challenges, even when they affect you personally. And they affect all of us, by the way. Make no mistake about it. Well, none of us is immune. It is how we choose to react that sets us apart. And so you, in the disciplined forces, must be the ones that lead by example. And so we must all hold hands and protect, defend the country and society against gender-based violence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and privilege for me to be here with you today and to speak to you at this 20th Senior Officers Strategic Conference, which you hold under the theme Embracing a New Dawn in Defense Capabilities inspired by human security, accountability, and meritocracy. The theme is bold and it is timely. It is as bold and timely as it is inspirational. It sounds a clarion call for transformation, innovation, a people-centered approach to national defense, and a demonstration of a steadfast commitment to the values that have defined the Botswana Defense Force for decades. This theme speaks not only of change in our hardware and tactics, but also to our systems and people. Let me take this opportunity to thank the Director of Proceedings and other members of the BDF for your dedicated service and for keeping Botswana safe. Botswana appreciate the sacrifices you make, often at a huge personal cost, in order to attain a safe and stable environment in which personal freedoms are assured. We owe you and the entire membership of the BDF a debt that we can never fully repay. So let me acknowledge here and now that I have interacted with the commander on many occasions, and he has outlined to me some of the challenges that the BDF is currently